So this guy, let's call him Creed, and Creed has a problem. He's dead. Lying in a grave, just super dead. So Creed is a retired professional boxer, and he's married to this woman, Lulu. Lulu's from Mexico, and together they own and run a local gym. And one day, after being married to Creed for 3 years, Lulu finally becomes a US citizen. And it's around this time, her attitude starts to change. Like, she doesn't need Creed anymore. And they're no longer getting along, and they start fighting a lot. And then one day, suddenly, boom, she files for divorce. So I guess now, Lulu's gonna move on and not cause any problems between her and Creed. No, she's not. So Creed and Lulu have this mutual friend, who we'll call Sidekick. So Sidekick works out at their gym, and one day he's there, and he overhears Lulu in a conversation, talking about hiring someone to unalive her husband. And Sidekick's like, she can't be serious. So the next day, he confronts her about it, and turns out, she is serious. I mean, she really wants Creed gone. So Sidekick tells her, alright, don't do anything yet. I'll help you with this. I'll help you hire a hitman. Here's the thing though, Sidekick has no intention of helping her. He just wants to stall her. So he immediately calls Creed and he's like, hey, your wife is trying to hire a hitman to unalive you. And Creed is shocked and he's hurt and he knows that if he dies before their divorce is finalized, then she gets all the money he's made from his pro boxing, from his gyms, all that stuff. And he doesn't want her to get all his money. Plus, he doesn't want to die. So Creed and Sidekick go to the police and they tell him what's going on. And the police are like, yeah, you need more evidence. And at this point, Creed is scared for his life because this hit could come at any time and he and Lulu are still living in the same house. So he and Sidekick come up with a plan. So Sidekick calls Lulu and he secretly records her. And he's like, hey, I found a hitman for you. And he gets Lulu to confirm on that recording that she's plotting to unalive her husband. Then Creed and Sidekick go back to the police and they're like, hey, we recorded her admitting it. And police are like, okay, we believe you, but a jury might not. So we need something more concrete. And then police come up with this wild idea. And they're like, okay, in order for this wild idea to work, we need Creed to be dead. Or at least we need him to pretend to be dead. So then police put special effects makeup on Creed to make it look like he got shot and died. Then they drive him out to the middle of nowhere to this dump. And at the dump, they find like a hole in the ground that's big enough for a body. And they make him take his shirt off and get into it. And then they tell him to pretend to be dead. And they take a bunch of pictures. Then they set up a little sting operation. And one of the police officers goes undercover. And he pretends to be the actual hitman, who we'll call Fake Hitman. So then Fake Hitman gets Lulu to agree to meet with him so that she can pay him for this hit. And then they meet up at night in this shady parking lot. Now part of this deal is that Lulu's gonna pay Fake Hitman $1,000 plus some of the life insurance money she's about to collect. So then Fake Hitman shows her these photos of Creed looking all dead in the grave and she's satisfied. So she pays him the $1,000. A period of time later, Lulu's working at the gym and suddenly police show up and they ask her, hey, have you seen Creed around? Some people reported him missing and she's like, no, I have no idea where he is. And that is the final piece of evidence police need to complete their operation. They needed her on record lying to police and denying she knows where Creed is. So they arrest her, they charge her with second-degree solicitation of murder, here's her mugshot, she takes a plea deal and gets 20 years in prison. And all this went down in Texas, so shout out to Texas.